Room tour. Got some various Ninja Turtle cups.
Alright guys, what's going on? Jason Sohail here, and I got an awesome guest with me. He is a collector, going by the name of Brian, and if you look at his video right now, you see he has an amazing collection in the... So, Brian, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Brian Banfield. I'm born and raised here in Omaha, Nebraska. And I got into collecting about 4 years ago. I got sober 7 years, 3 months ago for my kids, and changed my life around, started giving back to others. But I'd say about 4 years ago I started collecting, and I've just been kind of on a mission, you know, just finding things at garage sales and thrift stores. One of my main rules is to not buy off the internet. I fell in love as a kid with the Ninja Turtles. It's been awesome. I just love surrounding myself with this kind of, you know, this nostalgia of it. Here we go with some more Ninja Turtles. We got some pop figures up there. I'd like to get a few more of those. I don't collect pops, but I love the Ninja Turtles, so I got the Ninja Turtle pop head, mutant modulator. Regardless of what people say about the new series, I enjoy all artistic expressions, especially when it comes to Ninja Turtles. I see it for what it is, and I enjoy it. I believe 2012 Nickelodeon series was, I think, personally the best. Even though I grew up on the 80s cartoon and that's what made me fall in love with the Ninja Turtles, I will have to say 2012 or the 2003 series is by far the best. I find love and appreciation and other things as well, but Ninja Turtles is where it hits home for me. So yeah.
So you're telling me that everything behind you has been from the past 4 years, or do you...
Yeah, everything in this room pretty much yes, in the past 4 years or so.
Wow, that is amazing, and I'm sure that has like breaking your piggy bank just a little bit. Just give you a heads up, like I've been collecting since I was 13 years old. Just the fact, like what I'm seeing, like what you have is very impressive to me, and I like that you have a mix of, like, because I see like some of the classics. I see Pizza Face over there in the background. I see the classic Technodrome, and then like I also saw like the movie stuff, like the Michael Bay movies.
The Michael Bay movies. I have some of the 2012 series. Anything Ninja Turtles really I collect, but I should say the 80s toy line to me is my favorite toy line. But the 2012, that series from Nickelodeon's my favorite series.
Yeah, I like that series a lot. Did you watch it from like beginning to end? The 2012 series.
Yes, pretty much.
That what about the current series, Rise of the Ninja Turtles? Have you gotten into that one, or?
Yes. It's not my favorite by any means, but I do enjoy it for what it is. It's the Ninja Turtles. They were kind of created, should I say, as a joke in a way. So They were never to be taken serious, which we all ended up taking it very serious and then fall in love with it. So I think new generations, new kids, we all get to enjoy it in a different way. We may not like certain ones as much, but I try to appreciate each one for what they are.
It has its place, and but I can understand like why some people aren't into it, like, at all.
Right. Well, I think nostalgia it's with a lot of things with people. Nostalgia kind of blinds people from seeing, you know, I remember the 2012 series, like that's my favorite one, and a lot of people didn't like it that grew up in the 80s, you know, they didn't like it because it was different. And I think a lot of us, especially, you know, I'm 36 years old, a lot of the folks, the fans that are my age, they tend to shun a lot of that stuff because it's not their generation, should I say?
Right. Actually, so when I started doing conventions and that kind of stuff, it was a year before the 2012 series started. And the one thing I remember was I was showing to people what it was looking like, and especially at that time, all the press images they had, they only showed Donatello and Michelangelo with their bladed weapons. They didn't show them with their regular weapons, and like people were like just ready to hate on it completely.
Yeah.
And then like, after the first season, like I went back to that convention was MomoCon. I went back to MomoCon and I asked them like who's watching it and who's loving it, and like everyone who's like raised their hand watching it, they all were loving it. They were like, wow, it really surprised me, and like so it was like really good. And then like I actually got people like after I was like gushing about the series and showed some clips, they're like, hey. I'm gonna go check the series out now because of you. Did you ever get a chance to see the 2003 series, by the way?
Oh yeah, yes. In that video I sent you, I talked about 2003 being my second favorite, I think.
Yes, that's what got me into the comics, because I didn't know the comics existed until that series came out. But
absolutely.
Yeah, that's why that one holds a special part in my heart. I mean, like, obviously, I grew up with the 81, and of course, I know you're like my age, so you grew up watching like the 87 cartoons, correct?
Absolutely, yes, definitely. That's where I fell in love with them, and I was a huge fan back then, and I still am today.
Did you ever have like just like a bag of figures that you would bring into the play yard, and then when you first had them, they all looked nice, and then by the end of the week, they were all scuffed up?
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember other kids bringing them there too, and I remember some kids had a lot more than I did, so I used to get jealous of that. And I think a lot of my collection now kind of spawns from me not having the ones I wanted as a kid, even though I did get some. And but my mom had 9 kids, so
right. Oh wow,
it wasn't always easy. So
there's some Super Nintendo games down there at the bottom. There's a Technodrome up there with the van. Here's some of the 2012 and other various figures. I really like these Ghostbusters too. I only have 2 of those. I'll find the other 2 eventually. One of my rules in collecting is I do not buy off the internet. I have to find them in the wild. Most of this stuff I get for fairly cheap, couple bucks here and there, maybe $10, but a lot of times they're in lot deals, and I'll buy, maybe spend $100 and get a ton of characters or a ton of video games.
From your collection, what was one figure that you ended up picking up that you were like, man, I really I'm so glad I got it now, that I really wish I had it when I was a kid?
Let's see. There's tons of them up here, but Worm.
Oh, that's nice.
I like Worm. Let's see. This one I didn't even know. This is way later, but Venus.
Oh yes.
I just got her, and I love her. A lot of people didn't like her, and I know the creators didn't care for her too much either. Right. But I like her a lot.
Yeah. Trust me, I know the whole story about Venus. Venus de Milo.
Yeah. Yep.
Have you got any of the NECA figures? Because if NECA has done some of the cartoon series, and recently they did the movie ones too as well.
No, I have some, but no, I have not gotten any of those yet, but I will be getting those. It's kind of, my collecting is, I got a few rules, though. I don't like spending retail on things, so I usually find things on yard sales or garage sales.
Oh, so all this came from yard, I know you said no internet, but all this came from yard sales?
And thrift stores, or friends, and maybe Marketplace. If you're looking on Marketplace, I find stuff on there as well. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that.
Yeah.
So that's why you don't have any of the recent stuff.
Yeah, not yet, but I will.
Yeah, actually, because I'm almost kind of the opposite. Because my main thing is retail. If I find a retail, I'm like, oh, because I try not to go online to find them. If I do find, I don't do much yard sales, but I do conventions. Like when I go to conventions, and they bring out like the big bin, like where they just put all, and like some of them will like actually separate in baggies.
Yes, the toy conventions as well. I hit those up.
Yeah.
Here's a little setup I got going on over here with the Ninja Turtle TV. I got this lamp right here. It's a Ninja Turtle lamp that was made. I love it though. It's just got a ton of different Ninja Turtles and it's glossed over with some spray paint. One of my favorite things right here is this Say No to Drugs, Say Yes to Pizza. Absolutely. One of my favorites, Casey Jones. By far. I love that poster. This one right here is one of a kind. It's unique. I got this guy named Tin Man. He drew this. It resembles our family. There's my daughter Lyric with the... Well, there goes my lady right there. She's dressed up as April. Lyric with the sloth on her back. Me as Casey Jones. Even has my tattoos, which I do have a Ninja Turtle tattoo. There's my daughter Jordan right there as some anime character. The turtles there. Some ooze. See, there is a name right there, Tin Man. He did amazing work on this thing. Shirley Temple and Freddy Krueger. Stuff that we enjoy in this family.
If you do get anything like that's like on card or anything like that, do you open them for display purposes, or do you just you don't? You just keep them on card?
No. Yeah, I keep them on cards, and I'll try to find them out of it so I can set them up kind of like that. And if you see, I got some carded ones behind them.
That's
kind of on card down here. Just a few that I keep on cards on the back. But if they come in card, I'll keep them that way.
What figure did you spend like the most money? The most money could even be $5 if you.
Vern.
Vern. Oh wow, that's a good one. Here's a really rare one.
Yeah,
Vern,
so
both Vern and Vern Thompson, like they're like in Irma. I think like Irma's kind of up there too. Like most of that toon line is kind of like rare to find. What was your wife's reaction like when you started getting into collecting? Like, was she like encouraging you or?
Yes, absolutely. Anything, she was with me during a few years of my my craziness. So the other day, about a week or two, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I said, you know what, I need to go through and find all my doubles and things like that, and just start selling some of this stuff. And she got upset.
Oh, wow.
She loves the collection.
Yeah, that's great. To be honest, like because my wife obviously loves the connection. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel without my wife. But like like my wife's like is like the same thing actually. Like if she sees like something and like she thinks it's cool, she's like, "Oh, you have to get this. You have to get this." And that's when you know that you have that you're with a good person, because when they support your whatever craziness that's not harmful to you, like that's always like when you know you have a good person.
Exactly. At one of the toy conventions, there was this table this guy had. It was a Ninja Turtle table, and he made it, and it was beautiful. And he wanted $300 for it, and I didn't want to spend that. I was going to, if he couldn't sell it, I'd give him $150 or whatever. And she wanted me to spend the $300 on it.
Oh wow! So you ended up spending the $300 on it?
No, I didn't get it.
So I know you've turned down the table because of like the price and probably room as well. But have you ever like turned down something just because you're like, all right, I just don't have the space for it right now?
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. It depends on what it is. It could be, if it's, I don't know, some of the 2012 line, if it's one of the huge characters, the 12 inches or whatever they are, sometimes I just, they could be $1 and I like them. I may not have it, but then I just kind of just don't buy it, and because I don't have the room for it. So, but eventually I'll be buying a house here shortly, so I plan on just getting a remodeled basement, because right now I'm just in this one room, and that's where my whole collection's at. And
Gotcha. Actually, when my wife like moved in with me, like I had a ranch style house. Well, it was a ranch split level because like it was a size of ranch, but it had like multiple floors. But
Right.
like we didn't have a basement or anything like that, and that was like my wife's one prerequisite when we bought this current house that we're in was like, oh, it had to have a basement. And like I mean,
Yeah.
she was fighting more tooth and nail about that to our realtor than I was. I was like, no, we can find place. She was like, no, we need a basement, and she was so determined to get one without windows too. So like that's well, luckily
Yeah.
that we have one without windows. Before I had
Right.
to put like my shelves like in front of the windows.
Yeah, I kind of did that too. Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you also put the curtains up there too, right? That's blocking the windows.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I know that. I know all those tricks 100%. Like I've done them all. Other than Ninja Turtles, what other things are you? What other franchises do you actually collect into, or other things that you collect into?
I love Masters of the Universe. I had a nice collection, but I sold it for Ninja Turtle stuff.
You know what? Good choice.
Yeah. Yeah. In video games, I got a lot of video game systems and video games.
Like the classic video game systems, right? And like both styles, but you also have a collection of the classic ones.
Yes. I got, you name it, I probably have it.
That's awesome.
And I got a few systems hooked up over here. I got the Retron 3 hooked up there with the Super, 64, GameCube. There's the Wii U kiosk. And there's Lyric right there playing Mario 3 on the Wii U kiosk. Some more Ninja Turtles up there in the corner with the original poster back there. I'm going to get a frame for that soon. Also, a lot of you guys might know about this, but this van here with every episode from the 80s and 90s cartoon series. Love that. It's beautiful. We all think, hey, well, I forgot to talk about this, or forgot to talk about.
So do you actually own all the physical copies of like every like Ninja Turtle game? That's me being curious.
Most of them. I got all the Nintendo ones, some Super Nintendo ones, GameCube ones, Wii ones. I got a lot of them. Yes, tons.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. When was the last time you played the original NES Ninja Turtle game?
Oh, the other day.
The other day? Have you
So I had a.
have you ever beat it?
Yes, but here's the thing: have I ever beat it? Because here's all my Nintendo games.
Yeah.
So I beat Ninja Turtles, but never on the cartridge. I beat it on an emulator, and I put save states on it. So each level I beat. Yeah, that game is tough.
It is tough. No, I beat it once in my life. I was 8 years old, and like I have tried to beat it again, and like I don't have the patience as I did as an 8-year-old.
Yeah. There's times back when we were 8, we had nothing else to do but play Nintendo for a while.
Exactly. I know. You said like you've been sober for like 7 years and that kind of stuff. How did your childhood kind of just like get you into that journey to kind of like get yourself to be like where you're at now, which like
I think, there was a lot of stuff that went on in my childhood, me growing up, a lot. It took a lot, and I didn't think I'd be able to do it. But I think after about a year of sobriety and me reaching out and getting out of myself, that's why the collection didn't start right away, because I was busy, going to AA meetings and finding people to help, because ultimately that's what it was keeping me sober, was me reaching out and helping other people to get out of myself. But I think around, a few years sober, my mind was very clear, and I would watch some of the old Ninja Turtle movies and you'd get that warm feeling, you know, when they're popping out the sewer in the 1991 movie, and you just get that warm, innocent nostalgia feeling. And you know, I kind of just wanted to surround myself with that. So you know, I started getting Christmas presents. My kids always knew I loved Ninja Turtles. Everybody knew I loved Ninja Turtles before I collected them. But so I'd get Christmas gifts and Father's Day gifts for my kids, and it'd be little Ninja Turtles and stuff like that from like the 2012 or the movie and stuff like that. And it just slowly started collecting, and I kind of started doing it myself, and kind of just spawned from there. And now look, I got tons of them. They're everywhere, so it's beautiful.
That's great. That's such an amazing. Thank you for sharing that amazing journey and story. Because it's really good to hear. And I'm so happy that you're in a better place right now, and and I'm glad you found your way to this path.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem. Is there any figure that you have that has the most sentimental value to you?
My daughter's got me these two, so, and the ones that my daughter's got me. But any of the things that I have as a gift, probably, because that means the most to me. I have my favorite figures that I found and things like that. But the ones that people get me, that because they were thinking of me or whatever the case may be, those ring the truest to me, that I appreciate the most.
My uncle got me this guy a couple years back.
I got the life-size Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my uncle got me that. I think he was in Florida, and he just asked me, he was like, "Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?" I said, "Well, my favorite's Raphael." And he says, "Well, how about the out of the blue one and the orange one?" Because, he didn't know.
Right.
And I said, "It doesn't really matter." So I thought maybe he was going to get me a T-shirt or something. Send me a T-shirt or
Right.
maybe even actually one day it shows up on my porch. It's the life-size Mikey doll. Yeah, so I was like, oh, wow. And so that means a lot to me.
That's pretty cool. I don't know if you know this, but they only made Mikey and Leo for those life-size ones. They never made Raph or Donnie.
Oh.
That's why you only had the two choices.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, because Leo came first, and then next year came Mikey, and then the years after that, they just kept releasing the two. I guess they didn't sell enough to make the other two.
Oh, wow.
Poster. Here's a Ninja Turtle. Most of the villains, some of the good guys in there. That Tin Man also drew right there. If you look at that, that's amazing. He also did. It's behind the Wii U kiosk, kind of hard to see, but there you go. He did that as well. There's more of the good guys, some of the villains as well. Really powerful. There's a Casey Jones, one of a kind drawing with some Casey Jones masks. This used to be a puzzle, but it's in a frame and it looks awesome.
Wow. Brian, it has been a pleasure to talk to you. Is there anything you want to add before we close it out?
No, I appreciate you reaching out to me, and I love showing my collection, and I love meeting Ninja Turtle fans. It's something we all can share.
Yes.
We grew up on it. Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yep. Thank you so much. All right. Till next time, guys. All right. See ya.
B, say hi, Lyric. How old are you? How old? 9? Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? Michelangelo? Why? Funny? Awesome.